Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a look at the newest addition to the Melt Cosmetics stack family, the Blueprint stack. I purchased this on launch date, didn't waste any time. As you know, any new releases from Melt Cosmetics are just notorious to sell out right away. Ever since that Gemini palette selling out and them taking months to get it back in stock, people are afraid. They're afraid. We'll go over details, product details, as you know, swatches, maybe some comparison swatches here and there with a few other eyeshadow singles I encountered that I felt has similar color situations. I'll also have some footage and a voiceover for one of the shades here that I demoed on video. I just didn't do the voice for it, but you'll see that demo on this video. And with that said, let's dive in. Hey friends, if it's your first time here, my name is Alicia and welcome to Kinky Sweat. It's my platform where I share everything movement and beauty. If you're into makeup, flexibility, movement, life, skincare, hair care, anything that just makes you feel good, you've come to the right place. Like I mentioned in my intro today, we are looking at the new Melt Cosmetics Blueprint stack. This is limited edition blue packaging. Right now, unfortunately, it is sold out, and I don't know where I read it. Back in my mind, I remember reading it somewhere that the restock will not be in this limited blue packaging. I could be wrong. The shades might get released again, but the packaging might be the standard black matte. So let me know down below if that's correct. The box it came in, I saved the box because blues get me. They get me. It's not all the way blue matte. It's like it has a slight sheen to it, and the packaging is completely matte. The box is prettier than the actual compact, the magnetized compacts, I have to say. But I'm not saying that I'm gonna keep the box. I was just saving it for the video. But you know how I am. Zipping over to the website now just to give you prices and some product details. Again, it is sold out, but it does retail for $48. They do have the 4 interest-free payment plan, which I think is great. If you don't want to drop a exorbitant amount of money on the first purchase, you could break it up into pieces, which is a good idea. The total net weight is 12.01 grams of product or 0.42 grams of product. It's split pan, so it's a little tricky. That's the total grammage for the product. It is also vegan and cruelty free. Not too bad with these blue shades. Because this was manufactured in the USA, they don't have the recommended shelf life of use. Typically though, powder eyeshadows last around 12 to 18 months. If you take care of your powders and they don't begin to smell, you can still use them after 12 months. Just be smart, take a sniff. If your eyes are irritated upon application, then toss it. That's all you need to do. The first time I used this blue matte, I used the Natasha Denona. Where'd she go? I use the matte from the mini nude palette to help blend out the blue, but it kind of transformed the blue into more like a teal blue. We're gonna go in raw today, friends. I'm not gonna use a transition shade. We're gonna see how this blue blends on its own. It does pack a punch, so we'll find out together. Oh God. Let's get into some swatches. I have the descriptions here on the Melt Cosmetics website because I ain't trying to figure this out on my own, okay? Another special feature of this stack that's unlike any other stacks they've had before is that they're split pan. Usually their stacks are just one pan of color, and they started out with matte and then they ventured into metallics. I find that the metallic formulas in their pan formula far exceeds the one from their palette formula. Sorry. This is an original Melt Cosmetics pan. This is, I believe, the, what is this? The Dark Matter stack, Snow G. And here is the split pan design from the Blueprint stack. I think it's pretty neat. You get more shadow because this is a lot of product per pan. Like, you really have to use this like twice a day, I feel, to finish it. And the fact that they have the split pans, I just feel has a more expansive color story. You could get more looks out of one stack. Maybe they'll do it again in the future. That'll be a fun idea. And on the back, the shade label is holographic. That's really cool. Oh, and thank you so much. They have the net weight details here on the product sticker. Well, thank you so much. Well, they're actually all very different. I'm not going to read them all to you. I will put that information down below if you're into that, but just so we can move this video along, you know what I'm saying? Skylight is a celestial baby blue shimmer. This is the one that you kind of have to work in. You could also use this as a cheekbone highlight to add a little blue to the look. Deadbolt is a sparkling cerulean Flecks of Pearl. I'm sorry, their shade descriptions are not straightforward. It says sparkling cerulean flecks of pearl in the shade will have any look on lock. You know, their descriptions are a little sassy. King Stud, a brilliant sapphire metallic. That's pretty. I had this on the other day. This is really, really nice. And before I roll in, I happen to remember that ColourPop has a very similar looking blue, and I'm gonna swatch it next to it. I don't want to ruin the thing, but I kind of am. I don't care. From ColourPop, this is Quantum Sleep. Oh, the Melt Cosmetics has like a little bit of, it appears a little warmer, and the ColourPop blue is more of like a true blue. This is definitely more of like a primary blue, and this has a little more, do I want to say warmer blue? Not quite the description I'm looking for, but you see what's happening here. Dim Out. Oh my god, this matte blue, listen, midnight blue matte, okay? This is one of the shades that you need to go in carefully with. Look, it's still on my finger. It packs a punch. It's super blue. I would apply my eye makeup first. Of course, I didn't do that today because usually I just like to have my complexion ready for filming, but we'll be careful. We'll tread carefully with that shade, okay? Now we're moving into the more warmer shades, and the first one up is Beaming. This is a bright gold with a baby pink shift. I really love this shade for the inner corner, for the brow bone, even for your lid. If let's, you know, maybe we'll try for a highlight today, who knows? Next up we have Hot Wire, and this is an orange copper. Ooh, Hammered is a matte mahogany. Ooh, I actually saw Raw Beauty Christie's video on these, and she had mentioned that this applies a little darker than how it appears in the pan, and I will have to agree. It reminds me of some of Pat McGrath's mattes from how they look in the pan, and when you apply them on your lid, you're like, oh, that's a lot of brown. I do feel it's somewhat warm. I had it on in my Hourglass Vanish Seamless Liquid Foundation wear test. The close-up shots I did have of my eyeshadow, I thought it still kind of looked neutral brown, still to the near warm side, but I could totally understand when you start applying this on your lid how it could appear a little darker. Perhaps my favorite shade out of the blueprint, this is Nailed. Look at this freaking metallic. This is a bronzed gold shimmer. Oh, it is buttery and smooth. The shine is incredible. So of course, mine is that ColourPop shade we swatched. These are all from the Blueprint Split Pan Stack. Without further ado, let's get into this demo. And with that said, you know what time it is. Alright, lids are already prepped with the Fenty Instant Retouch Concealer in the shade 235. I am going to zhuzh it up a little more because I didn't set it and it did crease on me just a tiny bit. Using my MAC 195 just to smooth out the concealer, it's still pretty on there, so we're going to keep it as that. Taking my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Pressed Powder in with my new Sonia G Detail Pro, I am going to lightly set this concealer because since we're going in straight with that matte blue, I want a little bit of glide. I usually go in without setting, but I feel like I'm gonna need a little help today. So that is the assist that we need, okay? That brush was perfect for that task. Oh my god. Definitely using my Sonia G Crease Pro. This brush is perfectly sized for what we need because I want this blue to stay somewhat low, and then I'll go in with the bigger blush to fluff it out. All right, friends. Here we go. Look at that. That is insane. And there was a lot of like leftover that got kicked off just now. Oh boy. I'm gonna start right on the outer V and press it on, not do anything else. I'm also taking it to the inner part of my lid. All right, not too bad. I'm just pressing the eyeshadow on first, and then I'm going to start taking very small circular motions and work that shade across the crease, connecting both sections. I'm using very light pressure. As you see, this is very pigmented and I don't want it to get out of control just yet. I want to get my general shape first, and then I'll go in with a bigger, fluffier brush to better blend it out. I'm just making sure that I get the color on, but what I'm finding is that even though I'm pressing it on, I don't know if you see, it still is a little see-through. I'm not getting the full-on color payoff that I'm looking for, but it's probably because I chickened out and powdered down my concealer instead of just relying on my blending skills to make it work. So what we'll do is not set this eye and discover what difference that will make. I'm taking my Wayne Gauze number 4 and it is clean. I know the bristles look like there's something on there, but I'm just gonna give it one more wipe just in case. You just never can be too careful. This is slightly fluffier and I feel it's gonna give us a little bit of blend, but I don't want to use my 16 or number 3 because I think that's gonna give us too much diffusing, you know what I mean? Tapping lightly in with that shade. And now I'm just going to use the brush to help shape this out and give us a little more diffuse mint. Now I thought the first time I used this blue matte when I went in with my Natasha Denona on a matte first that it changed the color a little bit, but I think my skin color is just kind of changing in a bit because you see here it kind of gradiates into like a teal shade. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's not staying exclusively midnight blue as I blend this out. But I'm happy that I went in with my Crease Pro first and then my number 4 after, because we got a nice V up point. We have a nice blue gradient here. I feel like I have this under control, you know what I mean? Now what I can do, just so we can see both shades work for the sake of the video, I do want to go in with Hammered on my bottom lash line. That's probably gonna look strange, but you know what? I don't care. Taking my Sonia G Builder Pro in with Hammered, and I'm going to zip that under the lower lash line. And carefully now connect Hammered with, what is it? What is that shade called again? Oh God. Dim Out. Dim Out. Doesn't look too bad, doesn't look too insane. I mean, a little insane, but not unreasonably so. And I'm just using I'm being very careful here because I don't want this point to get out of control. I want it to look gradient and look like it's just moving in with the blue. I do still feel, because now we got the general shape here, I am going in with my number 3, no product on here, and just further feathering out the edges of Dim Out. Much better, much better. Now for the lid, the center of it, definitely going in with my Zoeva 234, now with the blue metallic shade. Going to wet it for sure because it's going to give us more high shine, color impact, and more longevity. Take the Max Fix Plus. I'm going to start punching that in on the center of the lid. This blue, I mean, look how true blue that appears. It is a gorgeous blue metallic shade. I'm very impressed, by far more so with this metallic formula in the split pan design than I am in their standard eyeshadow palettes like in Gemini and 24. Like, these metallics have body, they have shine, they have opacity. I feel like I was saying that word wrong the entire time in my video. Sorry about that, friends. I mean, that is just a gorgeous blue, and it's standout blue. It's vibrant, it's shiny. It's amazing. Now I'm going to take, on the same brush, I wiped it off, of course, Hot Wire, which is that burnt orange copper shade right near the inner corner, but more so on the inner third of my lower lash line. And then I'm taking Skylight, which is the lightest blue highlight shade, same 234, and I'm carefully punching that in to the top half of my inner corner. So I'm not taking it all the way down because I want to reserve that space for the champagne, gold shifty, pink shifty, metallic shade. I'm using my finger because this is the more powdery out of the metallics, the blue metallics anyway, and you do have to press in those particles so they melt into the skin and don't scatter too much. I did get a little bit of fallout that was probably from the metallic blue, so I'm gonna take one of my little brushes, my Sonia G Detail Pro, and just, oh, well, that just did it quickly and fast. We appreciate you. Now with my Sonia G Pencil Pro in the shade Beaming, I'm gonna wet that as well. I want it to stick. And now on the bottom half of my inner corner, connecting with the coppery orange shade, so we got this duality thing going on, you know what I mean? And I'm just using the pencil brush to blend them together so they look smooth and the lines are blended. All right, friends, I'm gonna do the other eye, apply some mascara, some lipstick, and I'll be right back. All right, friends, eyes are done. Here's a close-up of how the eyes look. The shadow, I should say, looks on the lids, how the lower lash line looks, that we got the half and half thing going on. And before we move in to the whole face, here is some footage of me applying just the brow matte. Be right back. First, going in with Hammer, the Mahogany Matte shade, in with my Wayne number 3, and I slowly start to apply that on a non-set concealed lid. I do use the Fenty Instant Retouch in 235. I did not set it this time around because I wanted to see how the mattes performed on a slightly stickier base, and although it does appear it's starting as a disaster, it actually smooths out. I take my time and don't apply a whole ton of pressure and allow the bristles to move the product across my lid so it eventually smooths out into a nice even finish. And I build this up a lot to deepen the outer corner portion of my lid so it could look deeper and intense on that part of my eye. Then with my Sonia G Builder Pro, I take the same Mahogany Matte shade under my lash line, connect it to the top lid. That's stupid, the lid is obviously the top. And then I take my Zoeva 234 with the bronze shade. Beautiful smooth color, extremely easy to apply, and I did wet it with my Max Fix Plus to get a little extra stick, add a little more hammer to the inner portion of my lid, and then I take the Hot Wire shade and put it on the inner third of my lower lash line, and I go in with the lighter beige shade, same Zoeva 234 to my inner corner, add some mascara, and we're done. Alright, my friends, here's the finished look on the lip. I have the newest addition to the Becca Cosmetics family, the Ultimate Lip Love. Is that what it's called? Yes. The Ultimate Lipstick Love in Neutral Tawny, topped with the newest addition to the Matte McGrath Lost Gloss family. For real, to top it off. What do you think about the eyes? I think the half and half thing is fun. I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning, but here are some photos of the all blue eye I did on Monday. Absolutely loved it. Got tons of compliments. I mean, it's very intense for the day. If you haven't seen Amber Patchalock's video, check out her channel. She's great. In her The Try by Juvia's plays, she mentioned when applying colors to not go so high on the crease, but keep it more on the V. I don't do that because I love bold eyes and I'm in the industry where I can get away with that. But if you want to use more color, there are ways and techniques that you could utilize so that the color is there, but the impact might not be like this. Because the browns and the whatevers could get a little boring. They can. And if you love color and you're not in a career that's color friendly in terms of going into work with like blue, purple, sapphire on your lid, glitter balls out. So if you don't bring it out as much, but you just keep it on the outer V, like very discreet, maybe you just apply the blue on the lower lash line, and all that stuff. You can make it happen in your own way. Now, my final thoughts on the blueprint stack. I love it. I did discover and I did take some footage when applying on a tackier base, you do get better payoff with the mattes. As you saw, I had a great time blending out on this eye, but the matte couldn't really stick to the inner corner and my skin was showing through. So it might be a little harder to blend. You have to use the right brush and just have patience and making sure it looks seamless and smooth, and just take your time and don't panic. If you don't want to deal with that, powder down the lids and just use the metallic shade to cover any spots left behind by the matte shade. I will say the two colors that they're not pressed like the other metallics, Skylight for instance, and its beige version, what is called beaming here. They're very loose in the pan, and you have to make sure that when applying them on your face, whether it be on your face or your lip for that matter, that you press the particles in because they leave the brush. They don't really stick to the bristles like the other metallics do. Like even this one sticks very well. And the one we applied on our lid today, this beautiful deep metallic blue, those are the shades that are a little problematic in terms of stick and application. But once you wet them, which I highly recommend, and you gently pat the color in, I feel you'll get a beautiful shine and shift from these metallic. You could have a lot of fun applying the metallic light blue shade on your cheekbone if you wanted to be all exclusive blue and make it like super avant-garde. If you just wanted to place a little bit of this on the cheekbones, why not? Let's try it. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but we're gonna do it. Taking my Sonia G Detail Pro, like it's very light on the bristles. It's very hard to see. We're just taking it right on the center of the cheekbone. I think it's pretty. I think this makes a great cheekbone highlight. Center the nose as well, why not? It's a shade that you really have to work into the skin, or oh, someone got blue on their nose. Or else it won't stick and it'll float around. I like to take my finger and just carefully press that color in. Yeah, man, that's pretty. I like that a lot. Adds beautiful shine, beautiful glow to the skin. It's a really nice finisher, if you will, for any highlighter you applied before. I'm just, you know, fixing that a little bit. We're gonna make that a little smoother. It never hurts to blend some more, you know what I mean? And I will be careful with how you stack these because you'll see that you get some particles on the plastic, and you might get some of the blue particles where you don't want them to go. So just be very careful. Like I should really wipe this clean and making sure there's not any color cross contamination going on. So when you're going in with your beige shade and it turns out green, it probably got a little mixed, it got a little concocted in there, okay? As far as I'm concerned with performance and color story, I really love the Blueprint stack. I wasn't expecting it to apply as well because when I saw Royal Beauty Christie apply like the blue shades and the hammered shade, the matte mahogany shade, they did look patchy, and I'm not sure if it's because when I saw that, I kind of figured out what I needed to do on my end in terms of how to apply these mattes. I think they apply pretty well if you use the right brush. Actually, if you pat it down first and then blend out after, maybe it wouldn't appear as patchy. Let me know down below what you think about the Blueprint stack if you have it. I didn't see any updates as to when the next restock will be. I'm really happy they came through with the metallic formula this time around because the metallics in 27 Gemini were dismal. They were, and because we've experienced great metallics from stacks before, I feel we were really hoping for them to come through on the palette formula. But these metallics, like, look at this freaking blue. I mean, it's blue. There is no hiding behind this blue, man. It's shiny. Again, it's just vibrant and it looks rich. It just looks so rich in color. I mean, you can't deny that it's an amazing blue. And the bronze shade, the blue has a little more tightness to it. It almost reminds me of a Juvia's Place metallic, if I'm quite honest. The bronze has a little more fluidity to it, so it moves a little more, but once you spray it, it'll stay on the lid. You're fine. Let me know down below if you had a chance to grab the Blueprint stack, what you think about it, what your experiences were, and we'll take it from there. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another video, chit-chat-torial, what is that? Or review. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.